Good evening and welcome to Tuesday night on behalf of First Amendment Sports. I'm Ken Meringolo. Thank God it's Tuesday.
Thank God it's Tuesday.
Good to
Thank
see
God
Kevin.
it's summer out. Got some good news from our man T. Strachan this week.
Really is. We'll raise a glass of that.
I think the one sentence that you and I read, Ken, everything is shrinking.
Shrinkage.
I think we all know what that means.
There's a lot of shrinkage.
Everything is shrinking. T's still fighting the fight, no doubt about it. But what amazing news to get. Everything is shrinking. Cheers to that. Let's have some fun tonight.
And I mean everything. All right, so I thought we'd scour the news for anything remotely linked to Commanders, but I think the bulk of the show tonight, and I'm pleased to announce at 9:12, we're going to talk quarterbacks. It's going to be a quarterback show, QBs, NFL QBs, and we're going to line them up and knock them down, and we'll spend most of the time doing that. But you know, it's Greg Martin. He was in the pool. I don't know why they would know about shrinkage, but let's see here. Where am I at? Okay, we got not a whole lot going on, but there's still just every once in a while there's just a little bit. I mean, I think where the Commanders are in the news right now are so like it's like prime off-season stuff. Basically, what we're doing, right? We're talking NFL quarterbacks. Why? Because this is the time of year you do that kind of thing.
And you weren't wearing
it's
pants
fun.
when I walked into the basement, and
No
obviously there was no topical conversation. So, yes, fair.
Got to mix it up. We're always mixing it up.
It is June.
I'm maybe like a serious concussion.
Yeah.
But here, how about this? For the first time in a long time, I know we talked a little bit about last week, we're starting to see lists like that one list in CBS that had Jaden Daniels as the top quarterback in the league. It's fun. That's the fun part of the debate. But I saw, I read an article this week by one of the, writers, football writers of America, talking about front offices and ranking, the best and brightest and greatest. And what I thought was great is, he basically covered, Eagles, Chiefs, Lions, Bills. I mean, it was like chalk teams, and that's fine. They deserve it. And then it said, also, consider it or whatever, honorable mention, and it was Adam Peters. And I was like, okay, his name's there. He's part of the thought process. I mean, Bruce Allen was never he was never honorable mention. Neither was Vinny. Neither was McLovin, even though we loved McLovin.
Snyder saved so much on travel, hotels, and meals over those guys never having to go to that banquet.
It was never.
Tickets were not purchased. There was no
one's parents were like, should we go?
No rescheduling. No Facebook time. We didn't get any much social media from old Brucey boy, did we?
Reminds me,
nasty son of a gun.
Didn't come here to name names, but thinking about Bruce and Vinny not making it, not walking at the end. There was a guy in Megan's class. Again, not naming names. Everyone knows who it was, but it was somebody who I don't think they let their parents know that they weren't going to be graduating that day.
Wow.
Yeah, it was a thing.
My parents were fully aware that day.
I was like, "What is going on?"
Yep.
But it's we have a guy who's walking across the stage. No free agent moves, no trades, nothing major in terms of personnel for the most part. Although, oddly enough, since it's this slow, the one interesting thing I read was we hired another. And my friend Tony was telling me about this yesterday. We hired another like dietary, nutrition, workout, whatever person into the staff, like full time. And it's like the fourth or fifth person that they've hired to do like be in that lane on that side of the house. And the comment was, in previous regime, there was like an intern level person, whoever it was.
Food Fight Jones?
It was a Food Fight Jones guy. And then they had like 4 contractors, they said.
Yeah.
They were just like floating around. They were not employees of the team. God knows what they were up to and what they were doing, because our guys were pulled every muscle they ever had on a daily basis.
This is so horrible.
Yeah, so it's like it's so crazy that it's noteworthy that we hired like our fourth or fifth player, watch her out for guy,
Yeah.
on that side. And so anyways,
You
it's
guys should eat your spinach like Ryan Kerrigan
yeah.
does. I'll collect my check now, sir. That's what a terrible thing.
Yeah. So I think the only other story that I've really heard about or tuned into is and again, they're just queuing all the Good Morning Football and Get Up and First Take. They're just queuing each other up with just the most generic.
Yeah,
See,
it is what it is.
You see, if you watch it this week, you don't have to watch it again until July 14th.
I know.
But someone did pose the Jaden Daniels question, and you did start to hear some of, I don't know, like the Mina Kimes and like that level of person who I really like talk about. Like Damian Woody, I think said that Jaden Daniels can progress this year without the Washington Commanders getting to the NFC Championship game again, and that doesn't necessarily mean that we didn't get better.
Then there's all the buttholes that are looking to have that other perspective so they can get some airtime.
Oh, yeah.
Talking about how easily it would be for him to fall, which, who knows? We don't know. But that's what it's all about right now. You get your take, you get your airtime, you get your clicks.
Have you heard anyone say
likes.
anything negative, though, about him?
Yes, I read yesterday.
Bring it on.
It was clickbait. No, I'm not sure.
Okay.
I didn't click on it. Top exec says, blah, blah, blah. Draft guru says, I've seen multiple little clickbaits that say Jaden Daniels has such room to fall, which I get it.
Hey.
On the national media, they didn't know how we got here in the first place, so it's easy for them people to not be believers. They didn't watch what we watch on a weekly basis. Now they see all these games and they're like, F the Redskins. Who cares about the Commanders? They stunk forever. It's not real in people's minds. Like it wouldn't be for me if the Jets all of a sudden were some superior badass team that everyone was talking about being unbelievable. And they took the Lions a while to flip the script with Dan Campbell. So I get how people are like, can have that perspective. And right now is a great time to have it. Enjoy yourselves while it lasts.
Enjoy yourselves. I don't know, like the guys who want to sound like there's a lot of people who are more worried about sounding smart and not being wrong. And it was always easy to take the contrarian view on the Washington football team for years and years and years. Everyone has spent the last like 6 months doing whatever they could to jump on the Jaden train. It's like that train in India where people were just like hanging, they're like piled high on top of it. They're just crossing the country on this huge, everyone just gets on and where are they going? No one even knows.
Where are they going? I thought I knew it. There's a Beatles song that says where they were going.
Let me take you down
to
we're going to Strawberry Fields.
The Marrakesh Express, the Marrakesh Express, right? All right.
They're going on the Marrakesh Express.
It wasn't the Beatles, but it was
Simon and Garfunkel?
It might have been.
No, Crosby, Stills and Nash.
It was the Marrakesh Express. That's what I was thinking when you said that. That's
Taking
what I envisioned.
to Marrakesh.
Don't you know we're riding on the Marrakesh?
All aboard.
Why do we know that shitty ass song?
Because our fathers raised us right.
I guess so. Very Marrakesh of them.
I don't really have much else. I don't really think there's been a whole lot of goings on.
I've said Marrakesh 3 times in the last 30 seconds. So far, we're killing it.
Muffakesh.
Well, of course, that was coming.
I don't know.
I would say that.
Though I did write this one thing down. So I was trying to think of so that got me thinking. It was kind of after I watched. It was Damian Woody and I can't think of who the other analyst was, and they were both agreeing that Jaden Daniels is going to have a better year this year. And that really only like one playoff win this year would be a great success. I don't think people are seeing our defense is fully developed, or the close games may not go our way in their mind.
We're going to see him with way more firepower out wide and a clean ass pocket because that front line's looking pretty damn decent. One of the top ranked offensive lines in the league. That's one thing I've seen, Ken.
Oh yeah,
our offensive line, and I want to say it was PFF was ranked heading into the season. It might have been CBS 5th.
Yeah.
Can you imagine? In what year could we have said, look at this O-line? Outside of the early 90s, when was the last time we could have said top 5 preseason ranked line? Well, when he's standing in a clean-ass pocket with Deebo Samuels and Lane and people stretching defenses and healthy Terry, shit, I can't wait to watch him.
3 major upgrades in our starting 11 on offense. Now, there's other new guys, there have new faces, but 3 major upgrades, right? So last year, obviously, Brandon Coleman played left tackle. This year, we have Laramie Tunzel. We've talked a lot about that. I mean, that's a crazy upgrade. Coleman then upgrades our right tackle spot.
Oh, the high tide raising all ships again?
Conceivably, that's how it'll work. But either way, he starts another spot.
Yes.
And on offense, staying on offense, last year, Olamide Zacchaeus was so crucial. They handed it off to him. They threw it to him on all the different places underneath and in the flat, and he got yards after contact and yards after the catch, and he did all those things. But Debo upgrades that kind of, at least those targets and more for our offense. And so left tackle, right tackle, weapon.
And Lane as well. Lane,
no doubt.
Lane too. But yes, Debo specifically.
Of like the stirring the Kool-Aid. So, I mean, those are outside of upgrading your quarterback, which we did last year already. Outside of
we did that, dude.
Yeah.
Oh man.
I mean, there's not much else really because you do have the trigger man already in place. If you give him that X Factor guy, you upgrade the X Factor guy, and you upgrade both tackle positions. And that's like a ninja roster moving.
And that's why it's taken people a little bit of an extra effort to predict his demise in his sophomore season. It's that little extra not knowing that much about the game that really sets you apart, so you can have your take that makes you different. But when it's all said and done, you're going to look like the butthole. Just know that, right?
Yeah,
I'm firing up buttholes tonight. Just
all right, fair enough.
Whoever thinks that way,
I try to do the same thing on defense, like starters impact upgrades, not just all the roster changes. So Jeremy Chin for Hill from New Orleans. I mean, we'll see. I mean, I don't think that that's not
Jeremy
like
Chin for what?
The new safety that we signed from New Orleans.
Walt Harris, yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Walt Harris? Is it Walt Harris?
Yeah.
I hope I know he's a good player, but it's not like Tunzel upgrade level.
No. I don't know if it is an upgrade, but we paid at least 50% less for a guy that we're not. I think we wanted Jeremy Chin back, but I think Harris is more of a coverage guy and less of a big hit and miss guy. He's not going to come bring the hammer like Chin did, but he'll be better in coverage. So whatever.
Being better in coverage.
6 of one, half a dozen of another.
I'll take the coverage.
Sure.
St. Just upgrade Trey Amos. Now I think that's the biggest upgrade on the defensive side of the ball.
I put Jones in there too as an upgrade if that was it. Either one of them in that slot.
Oh, okay, sure, yeah, absolutely.
Either way, I'm just saying. I agree. Yes.
I have put Allen / Fowler / name the other defensive lineman that we're not coming back with the Kinlaw Wise
the law
duo.
offices,
Yeah, Wise, Wise and Kinlaw. It's not sexy, but I do. I've been talking a lot about it. And I think Wise is going to be a crazy difference maker for us this year.
Check out John Kine talking to him about
Wise,
talking to him about his time spent with Bill Belichick.
Yeah.
His time as a family man and what it means to him, and why he believes those two things are two of the biggest things he can bring to the roster this season. And I was like, just go ahead, Dietrich. Go ahead with your kind, humanitarian ass self.
Yeah. I mean, he's a monster.
It's super cool, man. Check it out.
I think, and that's again that upgrading the offensive line, upgrading the defensive line. When you upgrade the trenches, or you change Jonathan Allen's a great player, and there's Dante Fowler had a great year. He's a good player. He's a good or above average guy. So how is it an upgrade? I think it's just an upgrade because I think these guys fit what Quinn and Witt and those guys want to do.
Right. We love Allen, but Kinlaw bigger, longer, faster, stronger.
Yeah.
I don't know how else to say it. I don't want to say just because he's gone, but the length, the arm span, the pounds, the athleticism, the reach, the ability to be a double gap guy. Like he just we'll see. Everyone will see. But everything I see about him, and he knows, Adam Peters believes in me. Adam Peters believes in me. It's all he keeps saying. So I tell you right now, that's a pretty good thing to have.
It is. He tends to be right about these kinds of things. One thing I really hope he's right about, I think the only other major impact change, and I hope it's an impact change, and nothing against Zane Gonzalez, but we did sign a veteran kicker for a veteran price. Matt Gay comes in and he becomes that guy. So I mean, not for nothing. I'd love that we could start the season off. In my opinion, we can start the season off and saying we got ourselves a kicker, like we did last year at this time. A veteran kicker who's been in the league is going to get it done in our estimation. So we don't have to talk about it, and that's fine. Because when we do have to talk about it, it stinks. So let's enjoy the not having to talk about it. But that's a big up. Whether it's a big upgrade, it's a major impact.
Agreed.
To have
we needed it.
Yeah, and if some kind of consistency and stability, not for year after year. How about just like for month after month? You know what I mean? It's like that's all I really want.
Especially for an offense that we were reminded of today. 38% of our drives, the lowest total in the league, went without a punt or a turnover. So you got to have a guy that can split the uprights if that's the percentages we're talking about here, because obviously we're going to be in that situation a shit ton.
Yep.
So,
I don't know if you had anything in addition to that. Those were the kind of trying to justify why I agree or disagree with whoever happens to be talking at me from the TV. How can I justify? I mean, on offense, our offense was not our problem last year, not even close. And the way in which we upgraded the offense, the way that Cliff Kingsbury chose to come back and be here, the way that everything is going our way with a guy like Jaden Daniels, it's hard to imagine that in a regular season that offense isn't worth double-digit wins because there's nothing. We said this last year. It wasn't smoke and mirrors. There was nothing fake or phony or false about that offense. They executed at a very high level all season long, and I think we had to say they're better structurally going into this season with the offensive line and Debo.
We are going to be a problem as we look at this offense. Everyone keeps going to the same spot, the same position. And it's that running back spot. Mm-hmm. But if you want to see these running backs get a few more clean releases in the pass game, have a few more lanes to run through, that always makes a running back look a little bit faster, a little bit quicker when those lanes open up like that. And B-Rob is a head-down guy. If he can get head down, and then we can get some clearance up there with this new fangled offensive line that we're going to have, and the ability to stretch the field, that's only going to open up the run game tremendously, and it's going to improve the numbers, I believe, with B-Rob, the freshman, Little Bill, my man, and also
Corey.
I love Merritt so much.
Yeah.
I love him. I told you I'm just a huge fan. It's not because he was a late round draft choice. I had no idea who he was before we drafted him. I'm not trying to be that guy. Everything I've seen since then, I adore him. His feet, he is so creative. He has a different style, guys. Like, I don't have a comp for him. Like, there's not a dude that runs like him. You got to see he's got this double foot stutter step. He's got all kinds.
The one thing is he is small. I didn't realize. But the guy sitting next to at work had dinner with
NFL
him.
Small though, yeah.
Not last night, but 2 nights ago. Was at dinner with Jacory. His buddy is like friends with his guys, and so he's about your height. My friend is
right,
and he was like, oh, he was really short, and I said, that's not what he's here for. He's here to be the best at to run away from people.
He's a badass in the pass game. I know that.
Yep.
And blitz pickup, he's a badass. He got screwed by the NCAA and he stuck on and played scout team running back. Typically, a running back wants to save those legs, not take the wear and tear, not get beat up. And this guy stuck around the program at Arizona. It shows what type of character he has. And when you get into him and do a little deep dive on him, you can see his personality is why one of the reasons the Commanders wanted to have him around. I love this guy, and let's not forget about Eckler. But my point is this, Ken. That type of talented receiver position, bringing in Debo, bringing in Tunsil, the high tide raises all ships. Every position on the offensive line got better because of it. Our guy in a sophomore year with a freaking clean pocket, come on, man. The run game is going to improve whether we like it or not, and it does not need an addition to be an improvement. Could it take somebody and really, really hit it? Because this offense could really be scary. We'll see.
So I agree with that, and I agree with the fact that our running game could use improvement. I thought that obviously we were worse at defending the run than we were at running the ball. We were actually not terrible at running the ball. We were halfway
sure.
decent. And I would argue, only because it's that time of year, I'd just argue that like our 10 plus play drives where we ate up 7+ minutes of time. Some games we needed those. We needed that time of possession. Now, I know all of us would trade a 75-yard touchdown run for 6 minutes of possession, and we would
Right.
course.
Right.
But at the same time, you can win both ways.
Yeah, we had to play keep away.
Yeah,
Specifically to win.
right.
Like, actually, we can't have the other team out here.
Yeah, so it's like
this really, and it truly was, and we did it marvelously.
they'd be like, Jacory, we're gonna need you to get 9 and then take a knee.
Like the Super Bowl
Just
slide.
get to the ground,
Just
every play.
Make sure you get the first down.
Every play after first
we
down.
need that first down.
Like Madden, yeah, exactly.
It's truthful that we had to play that style of ball, but also we didn't really have that in our offensive arsenal because we were a chip away. We weren't a chunk. We weren't gashing anybody. We have some gashers. Deebo Samuel, one of the biggest gashers in the league. He's one of the most explosive 20-yard gatherers that has been around in the last 4 to 7 years. Can't wait. And this dude Lane and this offense, gasher, T-Mac, we know it. Eckler spent his life gashing defenses, and our guy in charge of determining who gets to do the gashing, Mr. Kingsbury, is pretty cool at that determination. So
he is. Just to close out the talk about some of these guys that we upgraded over, two guys in particular on their way out that I don't know if I was like surprised when I really like looked at it harder, but I love De'Ami Brown, and he had a great season for us because we were a 4-win team that came out of nowhere, and he had a few plays, but I didn't realize. I mean, he only had like 300 something yards in the regular season, and he had 2 really big games. I think he had 200 plus yards in the playoffs. So he, obviously that's going to endear you to fans, and I think we liked him a lot for his willingness to block, his willingness to go over the middle, all those things, which don't show up in yards and touchdowns, but I didn't know his stats were. For whatever reason, I thought he had more than that, and he didn't. And then on the other guy that we were that I was looking at is Benjamin St. Juste. So like he obviously, I think he was our starter week 1 last year.
He can go to Vegas.
And he went there. I didn't
take the Albuquerque celebration that way.
3 games.
Get your ass out.
How many plays did he play?
He played hard for us, but God, it was hard to watch him play for us.
How many plays did he play in 3 games? In the playoffs, what would you just throw out a number of how many plays he played for us?
Shit. I did this. I don't remember even writing his damn name down.
24 plays in 3 games.
Yeah.
He was gone by then. He was already gone.
He was excommunicated. The celebration makes me laugh. I'm going that way. Soon. Extremely soon. Every flag known to man got thrown on him. And I get it, because he manhandled everybody. Yep. We were like, he's doing it again. This guy's worse than McManus, for God's sake.
You know what? So that's the other thought I had about BSJ, Benjamin St. Juste. He's 6'3", right? He's like big boy.
He's a tough guy.
But like sometimes size at corner works against you because of the contact that it physically
big guy, little
creates.
guy.
Yeah. So it's tough. Obviously the league's full of guys like DK Metcalf and AJ Brown and some of these bigger boys that you Benjamin St. Juste, he wasn't big boy in those dudes.
No, they were taking him to school.
Yes. But his hand, he was super handsy with all of those other guys.
Off the break, you watch his feet stuck in the mud and the other guy springboards off the explosion stance. When you go from a 2-point into a base and you watch it, the guy has his foot leaned forward and they will, say the right foot's the inside foot's forward. And at the snap, when they get to a set, and St. Juste was just frozen in time, and someone would just pew, and he would automatically reach his long arms out and grab all of it, and then reach, and it was the reach around that always got him.
Always
it's never the first hand in; it's the second hand in.
Never the crime, always the cover up.
The Canadian reach around got us penalized by about 300 yards in the last 3 seasons.
I'm sure we would have beaten Philadelphia without those.
Without the Canadian
reach around.
Jesus.
So
your hands to yourself, weirdo.
We're on to greener pastures post June 1st. I looked at the list. We're gonna take a hot second here. There are moves to be made, and who knows, they could be made tomorrow. But it is going to be I think there's more. Like, for example, and then it speaks to Adam Peters. This is what I think about Adam Peters. The longer that Trey Hendrickson sits on the sidelines for Cincinnati, I don't think Adam Peters is the kind of guy who's going to pick up the phone and be like, "Hey, he's not playing for you." Well, I'm willing to offer. I think he's the kind of guy that's been like, "That's your problem. That's your headache. If you want me to save you from that, it's not top of the market. I'm not giving you everything I would have given you a month and a half ago."
We obviously don't play that game.
No, we do not.
And we're not obviously playing it right now.
Nope.
Because the button already would have been pushed.
That's correct.
So
situations like that are out there resolving themselves. Kirk Cousins is holding out, just a great story, developing story for me personally. It's drama, and I love it. And for the Atlanta Falcons, I mean, give me a break. Nick Chubb is still unsigned. Who knows what that turns into in a year? There is a handful. You're starting to see like a couple of name guys.
So you just went Penix, Chubb, handful. So get in there.
A handful of veteran defensive and offensive linemen that may or may not be guys you want to bring in at some point. I don't know what he's going to do. I have no idea. I mean, you look at. I do believe when I hear people talking about the Commanders. Obviously, we got to the NFC Championship game, and I think people, don't think it was necessarily the biggest fluke in the world, but I do think people generally agree that we kind of outkicked our coverage a little bit in the last season,
without a doubt.
So you look at our roster and you say, okay, obviously we didn't turn into the 85 Bears on defense overnight, and there's clearly more work to be done. And Adam Peters, of course, he said that before last year. He's like, hey, this isn't a 1 year rebuild or recalibration or whatever they want to call it. But so, I think that every time we get to say it, it feels so good to say that not only we know that we have places on the team that need to be addressed from a personnel standpoint, both for the immediate future as well as the near-term future. And we have all the money and the right guy pulling the strings in the draft to address all of those needs, as we want to.
And a guy who knows specifically how important the defensive line is to your team's quality and success, and doesn't take a genius to figure out we're a little light at that spot on the roster. Obviously, this guy who's closer to genius than the rest of us put together, he knows that. This guy's a guy that drafted multiple defensive ends, multiple defensive tackles, and even though they had a hodgepodge of guys there, they stockpiled that spot. That room was taken care of in San Fran of the utmost importance, and I know that we've done a very good job at the tackle position, I think, and a bunch of complimentary guys out wide, but we are a guy away.
The interesting thing about Adam Peters,
it could just be a 1 year, $5 million guy. It could just be a Dante Fowler, 1 year, $5 million. Go out there, rush the quarterback, play freaking 30 snaps a game, freshly rush your ass off when we need you.
The DeAndre Carter signing we did a few years back would have been the difference between a playoff winning team and on most other rosters, because he made like an impact for us the year he was here, both in the return game and as a receiver. But yeah, it's someone like that, someone that you don't think, like Noah Brown. You're like, okay,
exactly.
What's that about?
You can only hope for that production.
Yeah,
right.
So all right, let's we'll talk quarterbacks now. We'll move on to that, but I just had when you were going through that, I was jumping all over across the offensive side of the ball and the defensive side of the ball, so I lost my train of thought in terms of where we were for
I'm not going to. My short term is not very gracious.
I know what it was. I know what it was. Adam Peters coming from San Francisco. We all talk about the tutelage and the solid whatever. I think in San Francisco, I think you saw it on the field. It's like an all-pro roster. They figured out how to work the paying of all the guys to get all the guys, and everyone was great. And so I think that was the big resume. I don't if you really think about the San Francisco 49ers over the last however long. I mean, the York family, right? I mean, there's been scandal and people have taken over for people, and some people have been asked to leave, and I mean they've had some stuff going on in their building, but the Chinese wall, so to speak, between the bad stuff and the good stuff, they did a good job with that. So Adam Peters was very much protected And now,
Yeah, the 2 Super Bowls in the last 6 years.
yeah,
They've been to 2 in
yeah,
the last 6 years.
their coaching and their personnel has been second to none. In terms of how they and so again, like Adam Peters in the front office over there, they get just loads of credit. But I think that he has a better owner GM scenario here than they did in San Francisco. Now, all respect to San Francisco, they did 2 Super Bowls in 6 years. They've been developing players and winning games, and that's they deserve all everything coming to
drafting
them.
their asses off.
Drafting their asses off.
And Kyle Shanahan's a damn good coach,
Yeah,
man.
yep. But I think that we're going to get the benefit of that, plus Adam Peters being in such a. I just believe that it's a better owner GM environment than maybe than most places.
Smiley ass is part of it.
Yeah.
There's a reason why. He is the smiley assassin. This dude. He's a beast.
Another little pop. All right, Greg, line it up for us. Hopefully you can do some copying and pasting. And so what we're going to do is we're going to move through them quick. So Greg will be proposing things more, and we'll just kind of pull them up as we go. But this goes.
So Greg's propositioning us moving forward.
He's propositioning us now. As Greg's talking about this, I'm going to move us over to this screen. There it is. All right. So this is 5 tiers of quarterbacks in the league. We have a randomized. Brock Purdy's the first one. That's why he's already on the board somewhere. We'll place him where he goes. And it's going to get messy. We'll figure out if we need to move things around. We can do it on the fly. But these are the 5 tiers of quarterbacks that we will place everybody in. The elite level quarterback, the one that you got, it doesn't get any better than this. You'll notice the theme to our tiers today. The very good quarterbacks, but not elite. The Eddie Veddy category is elite. Nothing to Cobain about. Time Will Cornell, the average kind of quarterback who could be a tier better or a tier worse. Maybe we don't have enough information yet. Hoping that Wayland, I think I spelled it wrong. Oh, a new quarterback next year. I think that speaks for itself.
Hoping that Wyland?
Yeah, hoping that Wyland, a new quarterback. Not so great, but not immediately replaceable. And then, of course, you can't Staley here no more. That's a quarterback that you think is, it's just a warm body. Just a warm body. Let's all right, so Brock Purdy, just to get it going, I put Brock Purdy up there first. I would say I think he's nothing to Cobain about. I think he's very good. I'm not ready to make him an elite quarterback yet, although I do think he's above average.
I'm in agreement with Brock Purdy being nothing to Cobain about because I just don't know yet. We'll find out. But he's not a Time Will Cornell. I think he is what he is. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like he's pretty good right now.
We know, he the $200+ million contract suggests that we have the information we need.
Yeah, like sheesh, dude. I can't get back on the show. I'm losing my marbles here.
Oh, you're logged off? Are we still on? Are we still live? Okay, yeah. Okay, Greg's got the first list. All right, so I'm going to do this as we go. So we're going to move.
I'm back up.
We're going to move Brock right there. Going to put him right up there, like little Bob Ross for you. We're going to right over there. It's going to be our little secret. Don't tell anybody. Brock Purdy. All right, and we're going to duplicate him and do this the old-fashioned way, everybody. And who's next? All right, C.J. Stroud. Where do you want C.J. Stroud?
Ken, I'm going to go Time Will Cornell. Year 1, I thought he was going to be pretty damn tough. And year 2, I was like, well, Time Will Cornell, obviously.
I have no problem with C.J. Stroud and Time Will Cornell. He had a great rookie year. It's just he preceded Jaden Daniels, and his rookie year does not look so great anymore. And it's tough for C.J. Stroud because he took his team to the playoffs his rookie year, I believe, right?
Yeah.
They might have won the division.
No, he's damn good.
Yeah, but it just not
that year. But last year, he had a couple warts. We'll see.
All right, so we're gonna duplicate C.J. Stroud, often duplicated, seldom replicated, and we're gonna go with Russell Wilson. Danger Russ.
Wow.
And we're gonna call him with the Giants. Is it safe to say we expect to see him under center week 1?
I think so.
I don't understand how he wouldn't at least get that start.
Hell, he does everything properly. He's the most fundamental, fluid, functional, quick released, accurate, average ass quarterback at this point. But he does all that shit correct. So he's going to earn points there early and often. And but
he's too Wilson. I think he's Staley as well. I don't think his time. I think Greg was being facetious when he says time will credit. Russell Wilson. We have all the information we need on Russell Wilson.
I think he's you can't Staley here no more myself.
Yeah,
Ken.
Let's do it.
But he can't really Staley anywhere longer than a year anymore as it is. So that's part of the deal. Why I say that he's a 1-year contract guy.
Yeah, but man, it's not a bad gig. How much? I mean, he's making outrageous sums of money. I wonder, is he still getting paid by the Broncos?
I don't know.
He might be. Yeah, I mean, it's a hard way being an NFL quarterback, especially as you get older and maybe you can defend yourself just a little bit less. It's a hard way to make a living, except when they're paying you $50 million to do it. Maybe he's getting $20 to $30 million. I don't know.
And the only reason why I don't say Weiland for Russ, and I think you might agree with me here, Ken, is because they have enough guys on the roster this year that they don't need to find a new one next year. They'll be finding one off of this year's roster. Just who the hell is it going to be? We don't have a clue.
It's going to be Jackson Dart.
I know. I'm just saying. What if it's Danger Russ and everyone falls in love with him in New York? The Big Apple takes a bite out of Danger Russ. Not happening, but
I mean, I think I think Danger Russ. The worst possible outcome for the Giants is they sneak in a wild card year with Danger Us and are forced to develop Jackson Dart 0 this season, and then are forced to look at Russell Wilson in the offseason
and then fire the coach.
And fire the coach.
Yes.
I mean,
we know how to do it. We know the recipe. I'm shouting. All right, we got to go through
Justin Herbert.
Yeah, Herbert. This is a tough one. I don't think there's a category up there that properly fits him. So I'm going to say nothing to Cobain about because it's not Timo Cornell anymore. He's a badass arm and he's an accurate dude, but he's got to do it. He hasn't reached. It doesn't get any better than this. So I'm saying,
let's throw him up here.
I think I got to. I've run out of spots. All right.
Caleb
Williams.
All right. Let me. Oops. Here we go.
Ken, I'm going to answer Caleb first.
Yep.
And it's Timo Cornell.
Yeah.
Just what it is. It's actually an easy answer. It would be hard for you and I to convince anyone else, regardless of our past.
No one's kicking him out. No one, and you're not. He was number 1 overall. He's not a bust.
Right. You got Josh Allen Bills first.
It doesn't get any better than this.
No, it doesn't. It's ridiculous if anyone wants to argue that. MVP, the reigning. He's a badass. No, that's Caleb. Oh, I'm sorry. You're the cut and paster. I am not going to comment anymore.
I'm going to copy her.
Copy.
Josh Allen.
That's Josh Allen. Yes, sir.
Bills. This is good practice for fantasy football drafts.
I like it.
Keeping up with. All right, so we're going to go with who's next?
Next, we got Penix.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I'm gonna elevate him above. I think the Atlanta Falcons. This is my first location specific ranking. I think he's clearly a Time Will Cornell type of player, but I loved what he did when he got under center for Atlanta. They went from Matt Ryan. They chased Matt Ryan out of town on his last day. They brought in Desmond Ridder. They brought in who did they bring in? I forget. They might have brought about like a 60-year-old Matt Schaub. There was another guy besides Desmond Ridder. Obviously, they brought in Marcus Mariota. That didn't work out. I think if I'm them, I'm telling them, hey, this guy's nothing to Cobain about. He's going to be your guy for a while.
All right, well, Time with Cornell about that, Penix.
All right, Time will Cornell it.
No. We both. I think you can. Can you do both?
No.
Oh, we have to decide.
Yeah,
all right, I'll give you your nothing to Cobain about.
All right, nice.
I'm just saying I would have said Time or Cornell, but I'm not willing to argue with you because last thing I want to do on Tuesday night is argue about Penix with you.
And he is. I mean, I'm not. I won't do it every time. I feel like if you are a Falcons fan, you need to embrace it. These are all guys who CJ Stroud included in his second year so far. These are guys who are just getting pummeled by the wake of Jaden Daniels freshman year.
Here you go.
Next?
You got one more that we haven't done, and the new one popped up. We got Flacco with the Browns.
Joe
Flacco,
the elite. Joe Flacco.
I dare to Cornell him.
Now,
time will Cornell with Joe Flacco. I'm not sure yet.
Where is he playing?
Now, I'm hoping that
Browns?
Wyland, a new QB next year. He's a Brown. Hey, Joe Flacco just out there collecting checks, being a big old.
I think he's Wyland all day, right?
Sturdy. I'm Wyland.
I mean, if Joe Flacco, let me just tell you something. Again, we're very experienced with guys like Joe Flacco. We would be lucky to have Joe Flacco at some of those. I mean, Carson Wentz was our Joe Flacco, and he might have been our best Joe Flacco. But we had Tony Banks was our Joe Flacco at one point. You get the picture. Joe Flacco, he's when he shows up in your town, you know that you're hoping for a new Q. You're hoping that you're drafting someone real soon.
That was like, So let's go Darnold Seahawks. What do you got?
Oh, I got nothing to Cobain about for Sammy.
Yeah, that's fine. I like him.
I mean,
they're 2 weeks before the playoffs, the entire Minnesota Vikings locker room is carrying him on their shoulders in a post game locker room. Just they were winning it all. They were having the time of their lives. So I don't think he's anything to go Cobain about.
We're gonna say Seahawks. No,
yeah, Seahawks.
Seattle, yeah.
Then we got Richardson from the Colts.
Oh, he is. He would love to be in the Cornell category. He hopes he is.
Yeah, I'm hoping that he's a Wyland.
Anthony?
I'm just not a huge fan.
I want to put Florida. I want to put Colts instead.
Okay.
So
do what you want with him because I've not seen him enough, and I've never seen him do anything great, and I just have a negative, but that's really all my input.
I loved him so much coming into the league because I thought he was going to be one of those guys like a Jaden Daniels type of guy. I mean, he had that.
Yeah.
Some people, anyways, thought. I mean, he's super athletic, but he's also a decent passer. But he does not. I think Time War Cornell is the high. I think, you know what? I don't think he can stay here anymore.
All right, good. Let's not waste too much more time on Anthony Richardson.
He needs a new chance. I think he's gonna get another chance, and he's gonna do something later in his career. But he's got to leave Indianapolis. He took himself out of that game. He took himself out of the game. That gets you.
Well, here you're up first on this one.
Who is it?
The Daxter. Dak Prescott.
All right, so I'm gonna say nothing to Cobain about.
Yeah, me too. I listen, except for that salary might be something to Cobain about, but this is not a salary involved question, and if not, then that's where he is.
Yeah. Richardson is Ken Harris. We don't disagree.
And I don't disagree that Darnold is Cornell either, but Ken was grabbing me viciously underneath the table.
There's a lot of hands going on. All right, what's next?
All right, next up, we got your boy Bo Nix from the Broncos.
I love Bo Nix. Okay, here's where I may have made a mistake. And this might you tell me what you want to do here.
I'm a Time Will Cornell all day. I got to see him this year specifically. Got to see him.
All right, so here's what I'll say. Would you let me? Change Penix to Cornell and put Bo Nix into Cobain. The only reason why Bo Nix had a very, very good year last year. He took his team to the playoffs.
I get it. Time Will Cornell. No, I'm not letting you switch your Penix around. We already argued about this Penix, and I didn't want to do it anymore.
To fiddle with it a little bit.
No,
just a little fiddling. All right. Who's next?
Jared Goff. Detroit Lions. And I'm going to say he's nothing to Cobain about.
He's nothing to complain about.
Yeah.
He's nothing. By the way, he's in trouble. Do you know that? He's in real trouble.
Because his contract?
No, because his center just retired. His 29-year-old all-pro
So good
center.
for us. So good for us. So good for us in that one game.
He's in real trouble. They don't have anyone behind him.
That guy's been a 3-time Pro Bowl badass motherfudger. They've known his toe has been awful. They should have gotten someone right behind him, and they didn't.
No plan. I looked at it.
He's
I
a
looked
monster.
hard.
He's one of the best players.
Frank Ragnow, a great center name.
He's one of the best players that we would have played against next year.
No, I'm not. After
that dude could be back in August. Watch. He's a monster. He's just a badass. He's a dude. But right now, I'm sure his wife's like, "Your toe is mangled. You're limping around here. Like, what are you doing? We have 80 gazillion. We're fine."
He just lost his OC and his center.
Yeah,
that's a big deal.
I know.
He's still got Jahmyr Gibbs. I get it. He's still got some dudes, but yikes. All right, who's next?
Drake May, and I'm going straight to Timo Cornell. Specifically, I think that's. I mean, you can't. I don't know where else you could put him, Ken.
No, I actually think he was better than I thought he was going to be last year. Let me just let's see. Good old Drakester. It's like for us, we watched a guy do something that's never been done before in the history of football. So, like Drake May, Bo Nix, Penix, these guys, we'll throw CJ in there, just, again, Caleb. I mean, like Drake May, he made some plays.
You did.
He got hit.
He's just not on the Jared Goff level. And in the recency of the question, I took Jared Goff, and I'm looking at Jared and Dak and what Darnold did last year, and I'm like, all right, Drake May's done none of that.
None of it.
Let's just wait and see.
Oh no, he's squarely in time with Cornell.
I think he's going to be good, better than I thought he was going to be.
Better than I thought.
Bo Nix and him are both going to be better than I thought they were going to be.
Yep.
And how do you even pronounce it? Slough from the Saints. Slough offs. Big Sloughby.
I'll say Time Cornell.
I will also, so I can figure out who the hell he is, because that would certainly help me out.
Tyler Slough.
Tyler Slough. Is it Slough?
I don't know.
Slough.
To be honest with you, I'm sure I'm saying
Slough.
it wrong. I'll say it differently every time. That's my strategy. I just
Sloughby
for the Saints, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, like they need a quarterback.
Yeah.
They're gonna. I mean, all these teams. This is Is this the first one that we've gotten? All right. So of all the quarterbacks that we've ranked so far, forget about Joe Flacco. The Browns are involved in this. I still believe the Giants are involved in this. The Colts are for sure involved in this. The Saints are involved in this. Everybody is involved in the quarterback class of next year. There's some
Sorry.
It's SH, right?
I don't know.
Yeah, it is. It is.
I'll be honest. I remember him playing a little bit last year, but I had nothing.
He's a big boy. He's huge. Yeah. He's tall. Did you see him in the draft?
No.
I mean, he's a giant. But everybody's got Arch Manning in their sights. There's something going on there. People want him, and it doesn't matter if you have Anthony Richardson on your squad. If you get the number 1 pick, you're taking Arch Manning.
Agreed. Can I go first on my guy? You know I love him. Joe Burrow, man. It doesn't get any better.
It doesn't get any better.
He is. I mean, dude, Joe Burrow. I think he's a 2-time comeback player of the year. Like, how badass is that, man? And I think he's last year's yardage leader. I think he might be a completion leader. He's ridiculous, ridiculously good, and I love Joe Burrow. Now we got Kyler Murray. Very interesting one here, Ken.
All right, so how about this? I don't know. I mean, it's between Cobain and Cornell.
I know. And I think I'm leaning. Well, I don't think it's between Cornell. I think it's between Staley and Cobain, and I'm going to go Cobain.
Okay.
Because I like Kyler Murray. I like his production last year, coming after an odd year and a half for him. He's an interesting cat, kind of an odd bird, but in this NFL, he can be quite the freaking weapon.
And he got they've now officially given him, I believe, a set of weapons, right? So they have Trey McBride at tight end. No, is it Trey McBride at tight end? No, they have Burton, McBride, and Harrison. So they gave him Marvin on the outside. They got the tight end who they just re-signed to big money, and they got is it Trey Benson, the rookie running back last year. He's a stud.
Benson.
Yeah,
I don't know the first name.
So I want they might actually both be Trey, but either way, McBride, Benson, and Harrison. If Kyler Murray can do something with those three.
With his contract, they had no choice but to surround him because they could no longer viably trade him. So they got 2 more years of him, and we're going to see them.
It's probably not even that expensive at this point.
At this point, it's not. But 3 years ago, looking at it, I was like,
I mean, Cliff Kingsbury on his way to Thailand, he was probably like, "Good luck with that $50 million a year to Kyler," while I'm on the banks of Bangkok.
Here's your Cam Ward, Ken.
All right, I'll say Time War Cornell. I mean, we don't know anything about this guy.
I think nothing.
I think that he is going. He's going to be a dude, but he's nothing right now.
Jalen Hurts.
Cam Ward.
Yeah,
he plays for the Titans, right?
Yeah.
It's a tough spot. All right, Cam Ward. We'll throw you right here. We're gonna find room. It's like a chalkboard on it for a class, you know.
No, it's working.
And at the end, we'll take a picture and we'll have a quiz later. All right, who's next? Oh, we're talking about Jalen Hurts.
Jalen Hurts.
All right, so he's not better than any of the guys who we have as the best.
No,
but he's better than all of the guys I think who are not the best.
Justin Herbert would be my only argument, and I'm not going to have that. I'm going to say Jalen Hurts is better, and I agree with you.
Yeah. So do we give him the Eddie Vedder status?
God dang it. He is the reigning NFL Super Bowl champion, and I think we have to go ahead and do it.
Yeah, I do.
We're going to show respect for the league, Ken. We know it's the greatest league of all the leagues, and if you are the leader of the champs and the Super Bowl MVP and a humble cat, I'm not gonna sit here and tear you down. No. I agree with everything you just said. 3rd place on that list right there, and 1st place on that list to the right. That's exactly where he fits in my book.
I don't think he's overrated, Greg. I mean, he's a winner. He's a producer.
I don't rate him. Bottom of the Cobains. Oh,
he's definitely not bottom of the Cobains.
Oh, sir.
He throws a pretty ball, even though people don't want to say he's a pure passer. He's tough as shit, and he runs.
He would beat the ever living shit out of anyone on the Cobain list.
Yes.
He would beat physically the ever living shit out of anyone on the Cobain list. Mm-hmm. He's a badass. So I'm just saying. Yep. And he throws a beautiful deep ball. You're right, but yes.
And then
he's going to be at the bottom of the Eddie Vedder list. Is what's going to happen.
Also, I hate the Eagles. And I don't want to say good things about anyone in Philadelphia, but I will say, like, since you talked about respecting the league, like you can't like he has the respect of his teammates in a way that like most people respect people. I understand, but like Jalen Hurts has a level of respect from his teammates that is like elite level respect.
From football fans that watched him go through what he did at Alabama and turn it around in Oklahoma and go ahead and win a Super Bowl in Philly and become the MVP. He is the real deal, and I don't want to say that either.
Yep.
But if you love the game and you grew up in it, you know that everyone knows that he's the real deal. As a human being that is a leader of your franchise, yes.
There's also I mean, so I don't put him like talent wise. Like,
no way Hurts is over Burrow. No, I'm a Burrow guy.
Yeah, Burrow, Allen. We got to talk about these other guys.
I'm going to tell you right now, at the end of this conversation, I believe Jalen Hurts will wind up being my number 1 ranker on the Cobain side.
Sure.
And my bottom 16 seed or whatever it is on the Eddie Vedder side. Yep. So let's see. Here we go.
Wait. Last thing about Jalen Hurts, sorry. I was going to say is that he is the reason why the game of he's part of the evolution of football, for better or worse. If you love the tush push, if you hate the tush push, but you can't conceive of that play. You can't. The offensive linemen aren't doing it for most other guys. It's man, it just sucks that it's Philadelphia Eagles to do it. But it's a play that he is almost like singularly gifted to run behind an army of dudes who are
He squats in the upwards of 550 to 600
600 pounds.
He's with Saquon in that level. And of course, he's built to take every shot the NFL has to offer.
Yep.
He is as tough as scrap iron. And that's why I respect the shit out of him. He's played hurt. He is, anyways.
Yep. So he's where he needs to be. All right, who's next?
J.J. McCarthy. And I know, listen, he's blatantly on my Cornell list. Because I was
thinking about him today because I was pondering a Justin Jefferson trade in fantasy football, which I know you are excited to hear.
No, not much.
But I was thinking to myself, J.J. McCarthy, who I loved watching at Michigan, he was fun on Saturdays. He was accurate, and he got outside of the pocket and he ran. We haven't seen him do dick at the NFL. I don't know how it's going to work or what's going to. Kevin O'Connell seems to love him, and his opinion matters a lot because he's been around a lot of quarterbacks and he's done it at a high level. But man, the Vikings are really need him to play well.
All right, sorry. I was told we skipped Mahomes.
All right, we'll go back.
Obviously, I don't think I need to.
No.
Yeah.
We'll throw Mahomes up here.
Pat, Eddie Vedder, Mahomes can be put anywhere near the top of that list for anyone. And yeah, sorry. Didn't mean to skip. Better man.
Pat Mahomes for the Chiefs. All right, there we go. Okay. All right, so who's next?
Tua.
Yeah. I'm going to say nothing to Cobain about.
I agree.
Man, I love Mike McDaniel so much, and he is just spiraling off the planet right now. I don't understand what's going on.
Well, he's a lunatic.
He's a freaking lunatic. And I love him. But at the same time, Tua Tagovailoa?
Tua T, baby.
Yeah, there we go. I don't know. All right. So he's up here, Tua Tagovailoa. We'll see.
Now you got, I don't even know what to say about Tua. Do you have anything else to say about Tua?
No.
Yeah. We're playing him this year, and he's all whatever.
He can light it up. He can throw for 300 yards easily. But
he's one hit away from never playing again. It creeps me out. It's whatever.
But they have that offense with the running backs, and they're doing the San Francisco thing where they just cycle in dudes, and they all seem to just do well.
Yeah.
Why not? Whatever that's all about.
Well, it's about the speed they have out wide.
Well, yeah, two of the fastest receivers in the league, plus Devin A-Chain is whatever he used to call him. He's one of the fastest guys.
I know. It's ridiculous. They have a track roster out there.
Why didn't we think of speed before this year? Okay.
Oh, no, we never had any. Shit.
We never were worried about it. All right, who's next?
We got Bryce Young.
All right,
all right.
Yeah.
In high school, he was as elite as I've ever seen. But that offense was run 13 months out of a 12-month year. They were machines. They had spent all the time together. But he did damn good in college. He's a little light in the ass. Well, I'm going to say let's wait and see. He showed me a little something coming back late last season and showing a little something, but
we're going to throw along over
here. He is barely grabbing onto that Time Will Cornell.
He's Cornell-licious.
All right.
Who's next?
After Bryce, we got Lamar.
Ooh, and let's go ahead and pencil him in.
You know where I feel about Lamar.
No brain.
Dude, 2-time MVP. And I don't think he needs any other introduction.
You know what the cool thing about the Lamar Jackson story right now is? There's two things. One, he as impossible as it sounds, he has a chip on his shoulder because he has legitimate beef. He was right. He could have been MVP last year. Also, after representing himself and getting $80 million guaranteed, something like that, as part of a big deal, the Ravens are now forced to deal with his contract again, right? So if you remember,
didn't go all that smoothly last time.
Didn't go all that smoothly last time. He was railed against for not having an agent, and his mom was making calls, and all that stuff's going down, and he got the deal because he's freaking awesome. But the interesting part about the Lamar Jackson scenario is, you're just so wary about paying $200+ million to a guy who's as physical as Lamar Jackson. I mean, he's a tough ass mofo, but
isn't he?
so is everybody else that's hitting him on every down. And that's a lot of money to throw at somebody who is generating that kind of contact. All he did was continue to win or be in the top 2 consideration for the MVP, and to continue to take the Ravens, and really for the first time, not that anyone ever pinned the Ravens' losses on Lamar Jackson, but Mark Andrews dropping the ball in the end zone at the end of the playoff game where they needed that to extend the game. To me, it's very like cathartic for Lamar, because it's like, okay, it's not on him, and he's going to get so much money because of this. He has 2 more years left on the contract, but next year his salary cap goes to like $60 or $70 million, and then again the year after. So they have got to rip his contract up and pay him
extensions.
And they've already said, I mean, he's going to be the highest paid. I mean, any time he signs a contract, he's going to be the highest paid at this point.
He was the NFL pass rating leader last year.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he's adding to the arsenal. It's not like he is just doing the same shit and dominating. He's getting better. Across the board. So, holy shit! All right, we got Matt Stanford.
Matthew J. Stafford.
Matt Stanford. We have Matt Stafford, and I don't know about you, Ken, but I don't think it gets any better than this with Matt Stafford. Some might argue that he's nothing to Cobain about, but
yeah,
dude? He's a Super Bowl champ.
He's a bowler.
I believe he's also an NFL comeback player of the year. He's got to deal with that lady he's married to. I think this guy's a champion of life, and hey, I know he's on the back end. He is finishing up on 16-17 here.
It'll be interesting to see how the Hall of Fame handles this era of football, but he's right there.
Yeah.
He's not, his numbers aren't, he's not going to, he plays in the same era as, your Pat Mahomes is, your Lamar Jacksons, your Joe Burrows. Those guys are probably going to surpass him. But only one of those guys has more rings than him, and that's Mahomes.
Yep.
So anyways, yeah, I agree with you. I think, and I don't understand why people are so down on him. Yeah, he's old, and he surviving 17 games, might be a tall task, but like he's the exact player who, if you want to have a chance, to win it all, like you put him in. I mean, like that
McVay went and got him.
He was like, he kept asking, like, what is your plans going forward? And he's like, dude, as long as Matthew Stafford will wear them, we're going to keep giving him the pads and the helmet. I mean, like, I hope he continues. And he was like, McVay doesn't blow smoke up people's ass. He's famously iced people out, and look at the hard decision they made on Cooper Kupp, this season. So there's no platitudes. They're not handing out participation trophies. Matthew Stafford's great.
No, and the Hall of Fame committee will read multiple things, not just comeback player, not just Super Bowl champion, but all-time passing leader in the history of the Detroit Lions. That gets your name up, and it doesn't get any better than this, because in Detroit, it certainly doesn't. So
now Ken Harris does make a good point, and this is what I think. When we next week, what I'd like to do, Kevin, if it's okay with you, it's next week when we come in, we'll put this stat up, and then let's rank them individually inside each category.
Fair.
So right now we're just putting. This is kind of like how we did it with our free agents, which I thought went great, because we got like 20% of those right. All right, who's next?
Next up, we've got Trevor Lawrence.
Dude,
from the Jacksonville Jaguars.
I'm gonna knock this guy down a notch. I want him to be in Time Will Cornell still. I don't understand what's going on with him. I understand he's good. I understand he's got talent. What the hell is going on down there?
Like down there?
Like down there.
That's a tangled web of Jacksonville muff.
Did he just get Jacksonville?
He did. And also he got sevened, or what's the movie?
Yeah, sevened. Yeah.
Isn't that seven?
He got seven.
No, what's the other? Oh God.
When he opens the box?
No, he looks like the guy. Oh God. Saw. He looks like the guy in Saw.
He has, yeah.
Creeps me out.
Why the long face, Trevor?
He's so scary. Oh gosh. All right.
I think.
All right, let's get on. Well, I'm with you.
All right, let me put him in there.
Yeah, get him right there, because I don't know. Well, when Jacksonville moves to London to become the London Jaguars in 2 years, you think that'll be a nice change for him? He looks like a Brit.
I think it'd be great for him. But here's the thing:
Pip.
Are you buying into Travis Hunter being a stud wide receiver in the first year?
Maybe, but I'm not sure about this whole prenup thing, so we'll have to figure out see how that goes.
What's the prenup thing?
Have you ever seen his girl?
Yes.
Oh Jesus, no, she is
the one that everyone said was cheating on him, and he stayed with her.
Bro, she is worse than Belichick's. She is that dominant.
Okay,
She's got her hands in everything, and there's no prenup. And I don't care about that dude's done. He's finished.
But
I'm sorry.
What if the field is his escape from her?
Jesus Christ. Does somebody provide safe passage? But she will run his ass down. She'll find him.
Did you see the clip today or yesterday?
He's amazing, but he makes terrible choices off the field.
Of his interception? Oh, his off the field stuff.
Yeah. Oh, he's amazing, dude. He's an elite level specimen.
Did you see the rep? I mean, it's just a rep. He was wearing shorts, a helmet and shorts, but he was full as a corner. His hips were completely turned. He's running full speed down the field, side by side with the receiver, watching the receiver's eyes. He turns and knocks the ball up, and it tangles up in his arms, and he brings. I mean, it was an unreal display
of 5-10 more times.
Yeah,
weekly. He's that guy.
Shoulder issues for Lawrence. Ken Harris says.
Yeah, he's always got something. All right,
who's next?
Jaden. I think you know where to put his ass.
He's Eddie Vedder, dog. We've said enough about him.
Never had a better man. All right, then we got. We don't need to get in there. Smith. Raiders, Big Gino. Man, this is a tough one. I'm going to say at this age, he's nothing to Cobain about.
Yep.
But, yeah.
And that's the way he's being treated in the league.
All right, that's fair.
He was they traded for him. They're paying him. He's a starting quarterback. He's like a 30-plus touchdown a year guy. Interestingly, not a dual threat the way you think. I mean, obviously he was more athletic in his earlier days, but he is more of a traditional passer.
He is.
And people want to, I mean, because he's athletic, he's not athletic to be a runner. He's athletic in the pocket.
He is. And he reinvented himself, and he sat back for a little bit, figured this league out, and made himself a shit ton of money, didn't he?
Oh, yeah. Where did he go, to West Virginia?
Yes, he did.
Yeah, he's always been a great passer, and he's got one of those calculators in his head.
Yeah.
And but he's not. You know what? If you look at the on a weekly basis, the over under on Geno Smith rushing yards. So Vegas has whatever the number. There's always one number where everyone gets it. Like Lamar Jackson's going to get 80 yards, or 80.5 or whatever, or Josh Allen's going to get 75. But these guys who you have no idea, it's going to be on maybe one scramble or two most, and it's always like 11.5, something like that yards total. And Geno Smith, for whatever reason, he figured out how to get those 12 yards on a regular basis, and that's when I realized that was the most possible yards he was ever going to get in a game. I'm like, I thought you were going to get 30 or 40.
Nah,
12 is the most.
No, his legs are in this league a little older. And by the way, Ken.
Where's he at? Vegas?
Ken Meringolo put that Penix higher than Nixon May.
Those aren't ranked. Individual categories aren't ranked yet. But Geno he's out in Vegas, right?
Yes.
All right, who's next?
And now we got the final four. We got Jordan Love, Green Bay Packers, and I think he's in the Cobain section.
Yep, agreed.
You agree? All right.
Who's next?
Justin the Jet Fields.
Jordan Love, Packers.
Fields is playing for the Jets.
I'll tell you right now, I like him in the Cobain. Time will not Cornell, in my opinion, about Justin Fields, because we know who he is.
And I'm not Staleying or Weilanding him, so that's fine.
They signed him to a deal. I personally think that Justin Fields is going to have a pretty good year for the Jets.
All right.
I'll eat those words.
So here we go. No, I mean, pretty good year is relative. It depends on. All right, Ken, I'm going to let you start this guy off.
All right.
Baker Mayfield, Tampa Bay Bucks.
He's an Eddie Vedder in my heart, but he's nothing to Cobain about in terms of where he's at in his career right now.
I love him. I hated him when he first got here. I loved him before he got here. I hated him for a year and a half. I now love him, but he's a Cobain. I mean, I can't just put him in that upper tier.
Oh no, he's not there. He doesn't belong up there with those guys.
But there does seem to be some Phoenix envy. Also, Aaron Rodgers with the Steelers.
Okay, so here's the Aaron Rodgers thing. Obviously, he's a Hall of Famer. But at this point, if you sign Aaron Rodgers, I think you're hoping that we land a new QB next year.
I agree, because after one season recently, you can't Staley here no more. Because, dude, your ayahuasca and your horrible ability to date less and less attractive women really chaps my ass. I don't understand, dude.
Well, there's undercurrents of rumblings of rumors, but it is very, very, very troubling. Are we going with the new QB next year, or you can't Staley here no more?
I think we got to even it up. Let's Weiland him.
Yeah. All right. Good. Him and Joe Flacco, two old guys. They'll enjoy each other's company. All right, here we go. Ron Rodgers. We're gonna say Steelers. I think
we can. I mean, unless he's playing for the ayahuascas, the ayahuasca wildfires, and the wildfires are the cheerleaders.
We have any other guys left?
And they look like, nope, that's it, dude.
We got it all in.
32. I'm taking a picture of the screen.
Yeah, we'll save this. We'll start with this picture next week, and maybe we'll move one or two. We'll bump one or two, but I think this is what it was supposed to be. The two middle categories were going to be the bulk, your Cobain and Cornell categories, and I think it's important to note, as Greg I'm sure would say, this isn't about ranking Eddie Vedder, Kurt Cobain, Chris Cornell, Lane Staley, or Scott Weiland. This is that's just
alliteration,
pun specific. Category titles. Kirk Cousins will be on the move. I just love how Kirk Cousins. Well, let's come back. All right, so we got this. This is frozen in time. We'll come back to this next week, and we'll close out here. I love that Kirk Cousins will continue to be newsworthy this offseason.
What a dork. I don't mean that in a bad way. He's always just like, I got my.
The question is, does he
got my saddle shoes and a tiff?
Mm-hmm. His bucks. The thing about him is, though, he's once again in the perfect situation for Kirk Cousins. He's been given his guaranteed money, $180 million, I believe, or $120, whatever it was. It was guaranteed to him, 3-year deal guaranteed, whatever that was. That was a lot of money. And they're perfectly happy to let Phoenix take all the snaps. So Kirk Cousins has his money, and he's going to hold the Falcons hostage, and he'll be on the move, and he'll be in charge of where he goes. Not because he's as good as Matthew Stafford was when he picked the Rams, but because he's that much of a headache.
No, he always wishes he was Matt Stafford.
He absolutely wishes he was Matt Stafford.
Sing Bible verse about it until he's.
When he sees when he sees McVay around town, or when they see each other once a year, and he looks at McVay and he looks at Sean, and he knows Sean loves Stafford way more than he ever loved Kirk Cousins.
Damn you!
Damn you!
Damn you!
So we get to follow the Kirk Cousins saga more. Again, perfect situation for him.
Greg wants you to throw it up one more time.
Yep, throw it up. There it is. It's not pretty. It's this.
And he wants you to put Cousins on the board somewhere.
Okay.
As number 33.
I mean,
and Ken Harris wants to know if Olivia Munn is too young for team mom consideration.
Mm-hmm.
I say the rules say she is, but that's the only thing she's too young for consideration.
That's right.
For
she's not. I think we said 50.
Gorgeous.
I think we said 50.
She's gorgeous. She was the apex of the A. Rodgers.
Yep.
Significant decline.
I mean, and Ken, just so we're clear, let's come over here real fast. By the way, I love that Greg's like, hey, flash that up on the screen again. Meanwhile, you could just rewind or, whatever. I understand, though. You might get an ad. Olivia Munn is in the hopper, as she ages. But, let's be real.
44.
Our final four this year, Halle Berry, Sandra Bullock, Marissa Tomei, and Salma Hayek. That's like to put it in a golf analogy. Yesterday was the longest day in golf, or golf's longest day. You familiar?
No.
The U.S. Open has qualifying. You had to qualify for the U.S. Open.
Got
So
it.
yesterday, all over the country, PGA Tour professionals, live guys, they were all over in random clubs, including here in Rockville at Woodmont, all playing to earn a spot into the U.S. Open.
UPS guy didn't sign the damn scorecard.
Gotta have the UPS guy. And so there was like a red zone, hour and a half on the Golf Channel, and they were going to now we're live at Woodmont in Rockville. Now we're in Ohio. Now we're in California, and it's the biggest names in golf on some court, somebody's some random course, in a playoff, and they would say 4 for 1, 3 for 2, 5 for 1. So it was 4 guys for 1 spot. So you're watching, Max Homa,
Right.
Anyways, name players battle each other for 1 spot in the U.S. Open. So cool. That's
so cool.
That's what we have here. Bullock, Tomei, Hayek, and Berry. Only one of those amazing artistes are going to be Team Mom. Let's just be honest. At least one of those runners up, is coming back in the next election.
There's, I think, all 3.
I mean, right?
I think all 3. We go to a top 10 next year.
Yeah.
And then whittle it down.
Yeah.
But those 3 are definite renominations.
Olivia Munn is 44
and looks like this. She's looked the same for 20 years.
She's like that. She's exotic, right? She has all
Hawaiian.
kinds of, yes. She has all the best
she
blood.
Has so much awesome.
The best blood.
It's ridiculous.
I have none of that blood. I already look like I'm
15
15 years older than I am.
You're Spanish.
That's true. I have
and
just
Italian.
enough.
What are you talking about?
But I don't have Olivia. Olivia Munn's 44. She looks like she's 26.
Yeah, well, dude.
That's it. She's had a. I mean, she's done okay. Wait, I Olivia Munn and Drake May over Marissa Tomei and
Tomei is definitely my 4 seed for Team Mom, but I know I shouldn't be revealing that right now. I won't reveal my top 3. I've revealed my 4.
It's a slow reveal.
I revealed my 4. My 4 seed.
Yeah. I mean, I think so. I think again, just to show you, we're gonna come back next week. We're gonna put these in order.
Yeah.
The way they need to be. We're gonna do the easy ones first, the hard ones second, and the fun ones.
We might have a diehard fan / cancer survivor /
help us out.
Great friend of T's. He was
Can we say? I mean, is Johnny coming?
John Tier's going to be on the show next week.
Yeah.
And we're looking forward to it. We got family and family of the show, to tell you the truth. And T. Strachan, he just said, got to get John Tier a shot in there.
Got to get John Tier a shot in there. I mean, that's me use one of my favorite lines to use because, and there'll be some fantasy talk next week because John Tier loves fantasy football. Now we won't go over the board, but we got to give him some chance.
You guys have at it. I'll refill the drinks.
And so let's just refill just a little quick little refill. I'm gonna give you this.
Are you sure?
Just a little bit,
all right.
just for the last one because what I want to tell you is I had the opportunity to give one of my favorite lines. I beat John Tier in fantasy last year, and Megan's like, "Man, you seem really proud of yourself." And she's like, He's been on his deathbed for 6 months. Has he even been able to set his lineup? You're saying you beat him,
just so the crowd knows.
Yeah, he's been
3 years ago triple bypass, 2 years ago cancer the first time. Last week got great news that he has whooped that cancer's ass for the second time.
Yeah. So
Ken was getting ready to rub it in on fantasy. Go ahead.
And so Megan's like, you seem pretty proud of yourself. I think she was like, the last time I saw him, he was literally green in our backyard, which I hope he'll be in 2 weeks. And I said, Megan, let me. She goes, you think you're pretty good? And I was like, Megan, let me answer that question with another question. It's like, who's the better man, the guy who beat cancer, or the guy who beat the guy who beat cancer? You know what I mean? Like that's what.
This is not. I am not smiling or laughing.
Yeah, I've been saving that one. It's going to come back out when T comes back too. We'll figure it out.
All right. Well, all right. Hey, it's a bunch of good ass news with those two names as of late. But hey, keep T in your prayers and getting John Tiara next week. Those two were teammates 35 years ago, and they've been fighting together. So we're going to have some fun next week, guys.
We're going to have a lot of fun. We appreciate you guys hanging out with us on a Tuesday night. On behalf of Tim Strachan and Kevin Ricca, thank God it's Tuesday.
Hey, man, shout out to Greg and Ken. Dude, we could sit here and shoot the shit with you guys all night. We got to figure that part out, too. But, hey, let's have a tiered point system next week. Let's vote on these quarterbacks.
Yes.
Hey, John, tier's coming. We will tier the system.
Yeah.
We will have some fantasy, and we'll have a great time. Let's have some fun next week, fellas.
Appreciate all of you.
Yeah, thank you all very much.
We are still live.
I think, hold up. NES Tecmo in the joint.
Where's he at?
I seen it. He said great. Anytime someone compliments the cork noise, you know it sounds great.
Yeah. Okay. I didn't see where he rang in.
Yeah.
Appreciate you, NES. All right, everybody.
And to everyone listening to us all week long, we appreciate it. It's very cool finding out from everyone, and we look forward to doing it again next Tuesday.
There's always a good Seinfeld reference, isn't there? Good job, Greg. We're still live. See you guys
in the house.
Ooh.
I would play in the board fantasy league.
Would you?
I would do that in a heartbeat. I love this board.
All right.
I love this group. I love this team. I would do anything for the team. I'm a good teammate. I would enjoy this level of fantasy because when it's brought upon you every Tuesday, you better compete because you don't want to be last, turds.
All right, so that means one of our shows will need to be a live draft.
Why wouldn't we?
All right.
Of course we should.
Good idea. Hey, I would never have the gumption to, because I it's not your deal. But if you're down, I'm down.
I am always going to be a great teammate.
All right, I'm in. And Greg Martin said he'll play. He's already yelling at clouds and ducks and crackers.
Moose knucklers.
Romeo number 1. I don't know what that. What am I?
Maybe that's your Spanish Italian heritage.
Maybe it is. And he knows me better than most. He's got that Forestville background. Little McNamara Mustang in him. All right. Well, I had to turn off because the next song on the playlist from E.O. Anderson's greatest hits. Hey, listen, we're revenue sharing as it is. Appreciate you guys. We're no longer live. We'll see you in 7 days.
Cheers, fellas.